Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in this video, we're going to be talking about how long you can expect the account maxing out process to take. Now that I have hit level 100 recently on my account within the last week, this is my kind of content. I like to dive into numbers and data and infographics and analytics and plan for the future and kind of take a macro perspective type look at everything. So really type of fun video I got here for you to help you plan. If you have not maxed your account out yet, maybe you're a new player, just to kind of get it pictured in terms of the journey and what you're going to be up for. So we're going to go over the account maxing out process from 0 to 100, and I'll also dive into the Great Hall maxing out a little bit, but I have a dedicated video on that as well, so I won't spend as much time on that, but we're going to kind of wrap it all up in one little video here, so let's get into it. Alrighty, and first of all, I have got a little infographic put together that I can pull up while I'm talking about this stuff, and we're kind of walking through everything. So this is going to be, now this is not my journey. This is going to be what I expect the median to be close to. Obviously, this stuff is going to range a lot. It's hard to predict and get an average because you're going to have some people that take way longer than average and some people that take way lower than average. If you've got somebody who really knows how the gacha games work, and they are an experienced gamer that's been playing them for years, and they're a whale, they're going to be getting this stuff way faster than like a free-to-play player who Raid is their first gacha game. So this stuff is going to vary widely, but this is what I expect the median to be. So you'll see going from 0 to 60 is that bar up top there. I'm going to expect the median to be about 80 days. It took me a little bit longer than that, but Raid has changed a lot since I first started playing. So like these numbers here, just in general, it took me a little bit longer than 500 days to get to level 100, and it took me a little bit more than 700 days to max out my Great Hall. I believe that was like 760 or something, and for the days it was like over 600. But the game has changed a lot since I first started playing. There's the average knowledge level of the player has gone way up. You know, back when I started years ago, there was no like clan boss speed tuners or like 50 content creators making really good content to help people really manage their account efficiently, or a very robust Twitch scene where you could tune in and watch players playing 24 hours a day. So just like the general knowledge of the player base has gone way up to help people manage their account a little better, which is also a little bit of a double-edged sword because it makes the arena harder. Back when I first started, you could really meme out in the arena and just do like fun teams and get wins because people didn't know about like the perfectly tuned speed boost into defense break into nuke. You did see it, but it wasn't like every single player knew that. So it was a little bit easier to farm in the arena, especially as a new player, than it is probably now because of the knowledge going way up. But to counter that, Plarium has adjusted things where now you do get a lot of kind of easy refresh pages semi-often. As long as you're active in the arena, you can usually make that happen in terms of spending your medals. And just in general, besides just the arena, I think it's a lot faster to progress for someone who is super active that starts now than it was for me back when I was new. Not only because of the knowledge that people are going to have and the plethora of resources and tools available to people compared to back in the early days of Raid, but also just the power creep of Raid in general, from champions and resources available in game. Like back in the early days, there wasn't always a tournament or event live. It would be like once a week you'd get a random artifact enhancement event and you wouldn't even know what was coming. It would just be like poof, one day you log in, oh, there's an artifact enhancement event, I guess I'll upgrade some stuff. And then the 2x events for shards were super rare. It was like it felt like every 2 months there'd be a random 2x that you didn't even know was coming, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll pull my 12 ancient shards now. Now it's on a very set rotation, 10 next 2x, 10 next 2x, and you can really maximize your shards a lot better than you could back in the early days. And on top of that, the power creep of champions. Back then there was no miscreated monster or stag knight or a lot of these really good progression champions, Scylla the Drakes. In the early days, it was mostly like everybody wanted Apothecary and like Tyrell was like the two that you wanted for account progression, like the god tier rare Apothecary, which he's still god tier, and then Tyrell was just awesome for progressing you. And then you can actually ramp up your gear a lot faster now because the Forge, all that perception gear, perception didn't exist in the game. Those like beginner tournaments where you can win some pretty good gear, that didn't exist in the game. And dungeons actually used to max out at level 15. So, and I believe there wasn't even 6-star or legendary gear. They've added 6-star and legendary. And a lot of you know that the dungeons recently added up to level 25, but they actually used to stop at level 15. So like Dragon 15 would be the highest you go. Then they released Dragon 20, and then now they upped it to 25. Faction Wars, you can farm up glyphs to kind of ramp up your gear, ramp up your speeds a little bit faster. So the accuracy glyphs are super impactful for beginner accounts. So I think the point is, sorry, I don't want to make this a 25-minute talk about how raid has changed over the course of the years, but I wanted to give you a few minutes of justification as to why I think the median is actually going to be faster than I was able to do things, even though I was ridiculously active playing every day and I spent a lot of money on the game. So now that I've laid the groundwork, you can see up there, I expect 0 to 60. It'll also be a good opportunity for you to maybe try and keep pace. Like, how are you doing compared to what I would expect the average to be? But 0 to 60, about 80 days. And then you can see the different colors show you how it kind of takes longer after that, from 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, and then 90 to 100. You can kind of see how the different tiers are going to take longer in iterations of 10. And I expect that to take about 500 days in total, from a brand new account to maxing out, hitting level 100, just an average. Some people it's going to take 1,000 days. Some people it's going to take 200 days, but I expect the median to hit there about 500. And then for the Great Hall right there, I do have a dedicated video on that. I will try to remember to link that right over there if you want to see the deep dive analysis of when I maxed my Great Hall and get my full context thoughts on that. So that one is PvP. Anytime it's PvP, it's going to vary a ton. It's going to take some people 1,500 days. It's going to take some people 200 if they're just an uber whale and they have good luck with shards. So that one's going to vary a lot. But like I said, all I can do is best try to predict what I expect the average to be for a super active player. The median, and I expect it to be about 700 for the Great Hall and 500 for level 100. But yeah, nothing super crazy with this one. Just a fun discussion with this video in honor of me having some perspective now after hitting level 100 and maxing out the Great Hall. I can go through and let you know the experience for me, and then kind of put it into context with how the game has changed since the early days when I started compared to now, and what I expect the median to be. And if you're wondering, how do I know how many days it took to hit level 100? It was actually kind of complicated because if some of you are new, you may not know this, but account level used to max out at 60, and if you were active, you'd hit that within like 60 to 90 days. So you'd have just an account maxed out for like over a year before they added the increase to the max account level when they bumped it up from 60 to 100. So my account was maxed out at level 60 for a long time, and then I had to go back at my old videos. Luckily, I do like daily content on Raid, so I was able to go back, just take like an hour and go through all my old videos and see like at which point did my account tick from 59 to 60, and be like, okay, mark that day down, and then go through and wait until my account ticked up to 71, and then I knew that patch came out, or 61, sorry, when it ticked up to 61, so I could see how long that gap was, and I could eliminate that and start counting the days to kind of figure out what the journey was like for me and going from 0 to 100. But because of accounts used to max out at 60, I had a lot of dead time where I was gaining no XP on my journey to level 100, whereas players starting now won't have that. They can go straight from 0 to 100, and they won't have that 1-year pause at level 60. And real quick before I let you go, let me put this away for just a second, because this is worth touching on every few months. It's one of the more common questions I get on my channel. What is the order of operations for the Great Hall upgrades? And this is going to vary depending on who you ask, but as a general recommendation for most players, I'm going to say accuracy first for sure. In most situations, you need that for everything from clan boss to dungeons and farming gear and landing debuffs in the arena. Accuracy, you end up needing like tons of accuracy banners because it's such a valuable stat to get on so many champions. So I would definitely go accuracy on the first one. After that, probably the next tier. Any blend of HP, defense, and crit damage. Those three are all amazing. And then the last tier would be attack and resist. Resist, you end up needing a lot more kind of towards the end game when you're building special high resistance teams. But some people say resistance is super valuable and you should upgrade it right away. So this is just my ideas. I would go accuracy tier 1, tier 2, HP, defense, and crit damage, and then tier 3 resistance, and then tier 4 attack. I would say for almost all of you, attack should be kind of the last priority after accuracy and all the other ones down to resist, and then finally attack. So alrighty, that is gonna do it for this one. Just a quick fun discussion about getting a maxed out account. And if you would like to have this infographic that I've used right here, I will put it down in the pinned comment if you'd like to pull it up and kind of have that for your own records on what I think the averages are going to be. So as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.